If you were to describe your life in terms of a quest, what has your life been a quest for? What have you been looking for all your life? The perfect spouse? The perfect job? The perfect location to live? Security? Pleasure? Peace? Joy? Think about this past week. If you were to define your week in terms of a quest, what have you been seeking this week? What's been top of mind for you? And what about right now? Why are you here? Why are you watching this? What are you looking for? What are you hoping for? What are you most thirsty for? Our passages today, Psalm 63 and Isaiah 55, are a beautiful invitation to seek, to go on a quest. But it's not a general quest. It's a very focused, very specific quest. A verse of scripture that God welded to my soul when I began truly walking with him in my early 20s is in our text. It's Psalm 63, verse 1. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water. As the Psalms so often do, that verse captured where my heart was at that moment. And in fact, it captures wherever I am when I'm thinking clearly. That's the place to which my heart returns when I'm most on track. The intro to this psalm says that it's a psalm of David when he was in the desert of Judah. And like a good poet, like the Renaissance man that he was, he had no trouble bridging from the physical reality to his emotional and spiritual reality. I'm in the desert. It's hot and dry. There's no water. I'm physically thirsty. And what I want and what I'm craving, what I'm thirsty for, Lord, is you. See, David knew from experience that despite his very real physical situation, thirsty, in the desert, probably running for his life, what he craved, what he needed most of all, was to connect with his Creator. Some suggest that this psalm was written about or during the time in which David was fleeing from his son Absalom. Absalom had staged a coup, was trying to kill him and take over the kingdom. If you're a parent, you understand how deeply it cuts and what a load it is when a child is wandering off track or in some way making what you believe are some dangerous life decisions. David's kid was trying to kill him. That is a dry and weary land, where no amount of positive thinking or psyching yourself up is going to cut it. Look at the words. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water. The Bible from which I read says, earnestly I seek you. I understand that the word is literally early, as in early in the morning, as the sun is rising. Early I seek you. The first thing I do is seek you. And so the idea here is that as the sun's rising, as I'm rising, the first thing I do is eagerly seek you. I want to connect with you right out of the gate. Psalm 63 was considered the morning hymn in the early church. John Chrysostom, a leader in the early church who lived from 347 to 407, said, "It was decreed and ordained by the church fathers that no day should pass without the public singing of this psalm." This psalm invites us to join David in his quest. It invites us to join him in a desperate craving for God and a recognition that the world and all it offers is in fact a desert, that it is a dry and weary land where there is no water. This psalm invites us to come to the end of a futile quest to find satisfaction in anyone or anything else and embrace the fact, as David embraced, that it is God who we need. He's the one who quenches our thirst. He is the one who ultimately satisfies. In a larger study I've done on the topic of seeking God, one of my conclusions that a facet of seeking God was coming to a place of desperate humility or humble desperation. Coming to the place where I freely confess that I cannot create, I cannot possess, I cannot find or in any way generate true satisfaction on my own. And David had arrived there. His example invites us to quit wasting our time looking for water in a desert. Even in the midst of his quest, David knew the answer was coming. In Psalm 63 again, at verse 2, he says, I've seen you in the sanctuary, beheld your power and glory. Your love is better than life. My lips will glorify you. I'll praise you as long as I live. In your name I'll lift up my hands. I will be fully satisfied as with the richest of foods. With singing lips, my mouth will praise you. This is so aligned with that other passage, that other text in Isaiah 55, where it says, come all who are thirsty, come to the waters. You who have no money, come and buy and eat. Come buy wine and milk without money, without cost. Why spend your money on what is not bread, and your labor on what does not satisfy? In other words, stop looking for water in a desert. Listen to me and eat what is good, and you will delight in the richest of fare. In these passages, we have an explicit invitation not just to seek, but also to find, to receive, to be satisfied. I sought many things for satisfaction in my early life, from relationships to intoxication to athletic accomplishment to money to adventure to stuff. And maybe you understand some of those quests. And I'm so grateful that the Lord made it very clear to me as I entered my 20s that I was chewing on sand in the desert. It was grit and dust. No satisfaction. It only increased the thirst. I'm so grateful that He made it clear to me that whatever I thought my quest was, whatever I was consciously seeking at the time, whatever I thought would satisfy me, He made it clear ultimately that it was actually about Him. Have you had that revelation yet on your journey? When you do, it changes your trajectory. It reorients you. It rearranges your priorities. A.W. Tozer wrote an excellent little book called The Pursuit of God. And at the end of every chapter, there's a little prayer. And at the end of the first chapter, there's a prayer which is really aligned with and based on Psalm 63, our passage. And maybe you can make this your prayer, as I have mine many times. This is the prayer. It says, "O God, I've tasted of your goodness, and it has both satisfied me and made me thirsty for more. I am painfully conscious of my need of further grace. I am ashamed of my lack of desire. O God, I want to want you. I long to be filled with longing. I thirst to be more thirsty still. Begin in mercy a new work of love within me. Say to my soul, rise up and come away, and then give me the grace to rise and follow you up from this misty lowland where I have wandered so long. O God, you are my God. Earnestly I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My body longs for you in a dry and weary land where there is no water." The word today invites us to seek. But more than that, it invites us to be satisfied. And so I pray for myself and I pray for you. Satisfy us, Lord. Be our satisfaction. you.